Today, Young Dolph artist just did the most horrible thing ever. Not only did he get his chain taken, but he's making Paper Route look weak. For years, the rivalry between Collective Music Group, CMG, and Paper Route Empire, PRE, has been one of the most talked about stories in Memphis hip-hop. Fans have closely watched every lyric, social media post, interview, and public appearance involving artists connected to either camp. At the center of many online discussions are Moneybagg, Yo, Key Glock, Young Dolph, and Yo Gotti. Claims that Moneybagg Yo snatched Key Glock's PRE chain on behalf of Yo Gotti. Evidence, police report, court record, or credible public statement confirming is that Memphis has produced two different success stories. On one side was Young Dolph, who built Paper Route Empire into one of the most respected independent labels in hip-hop. Dolph repeatedly emphasized ownership, independence, and controlling his own business rather than signing a major label deal. Key Glock became one of the label's biggest stars after joining PRE in 2017 and later collaborated with Dolph on the successful Dumb and Dumber albums. Wikipedia, on the other side, stood Yo Gotti, who transformed CMG into a powerhouse label featuring artists including Moneybagg Yo, 42 Dugg, ESTG, and others. Moneybagg Yo signing to CMG helped launch him into mainstream success and established him as one of the label's biggest names. Wikipedia. Because both labels originated in Memphis, comparisons between them became unavoidable. Fans often treated every lyric, chain, interview, and Instagram post as another chapter in the rivalry, even when there was no direct evidence that a particular event had happened. Chains carry enormous symbolic value in hip-hop. They represent success, loyalty, and affiliation. Losing a chain through theft or having it taken in a confrontation is often viewed as a serious blow to a rapper's reputation. For that reason, rumors about chains can spread rapidly online, even when they are unsupported by reliable evidence. In the case of the claim involving Moneybagg Yo and Key Glock, no credible public evidence has confirmed that Moneybagg Yo forcibly took Key Glock's PRE chain. Numerous fan discussions reference rivalries between CMG and PRE, but those discussions are not proof that the alleged incident occurred. Reddit. Young Dolph consistently promoted independence throughout his career. He famously turned down major label offers because he believed owning his masters and controlling his own company would create more long-term value. That philosophy became central to PRE's identity and influenced artists such as Key Glock. Wikipedia. After Young Dolph's death in November 2021, Key Glock publicly honored his mentor and continued representing Paper Route Empire. His music and performances have reflected Dolph's influence while also establishing Glock as a successful solo artist. Wikipedia. Meanwhile, Moneybagg Yo continued building one of rap's strongest commercial careers. Albums, chart success, and major tours have made him one of CMG's most recognizable artists. His accomplishments have generally been driven by his music rather than by public disputes. The Memphis rap scene has often been described as intensely competitive, with fans sometimes amplifying rivalries beyond what artists themselves publicly confirm. Online speculation can quickly become accepted as fact despite lacking reliable evidence. That is why separating verified information from internet rumors is important when examining any high-profile rivalry. Ultimately, the documented story is compelling on its own. Two influential Memphis camps, two different business models, and artists who helped define modern Southern hip-hop. While fans continue debating every interaction between CMG and PRE, claims such as a chain-snatching incident should not be presented as established fact without credible supporting evidence. The death of Anthony Big Jook Mims in January 2024 sent shockwaves through Memphis. As the older brother of Yo Gotti and a prominent executive associated with CMG, his killing immediately became one of the most discussed events in hip-hop. Authorities confirmed that Big Jook was fatally shot outside a Memphis restaurant following a funeral repast, but investigators did not publicly identify a motive at the time. Local Memphis. In the hours and days that followed, social media exploded with theories attempting to connect the shooting to long-running tensions within the Memphis rap scene. Videos, live streams, and posts spread rapidly, often mixing verified facts with speculation. As a result, it became difficult for many fans to distinguish between confirmed information and internet rumors. One of the rumors circulating online claimed there was a later confrontation involving members of rival camps after Big Jook's death. Different versions of the story describe different locations, participants, and circumstances. However, there has been no credible public evidence confirming that such an altercation occurred as described, nor have reliable sources verified claims about how many people were present or what actions any individual took. The documented story is that the rivalry between Paper Route Empire and CMG has been discussed publicly for years, fueled by lyrics, interviews, and fan debate. That history led many online commentators to interpret unrelated events through the lens of the rivalry, even when there was no official confirmation connecting them. For documentary purposes, it is important to separate three categories of information. Confirmed facts. Big Jook was killed in Memphis in January 2024, and law enforcement investigated the homicide. Local Memphis. Court-related allegations. During proceedings connected to Young Dolph's murder, prosecutors presented allegations involving Big Jook. Those allegations were part of court proceedings and should not be treated as findings against other individuals unless established by evidence in court. Claims about later confrontations, exact numbers of people involved, or individuals being outnumbered have not been publicly verified by reliable sources. The Memphis hip-hop scene continues to have an enormous cultural impact, and public interest in these events remains high. But responsible reporting requires acknowledging the difference between what has been confirmed and what remains unverified. That distinction helps ensure that documentaries inform viewers rather than amplify rumors. One of the most closely watched chapters in the Young Dolph case centered on Hernandez Govan. Prosecutors alleged that Govan served as an intermediary who organized the plot to kill Young Dolph, relying in part on testimony from one of the admitted shooters. The defense challenged that testimony, arguing it was unreliable and unsupported by direct physical evidence. After hearing the evidence, a Memphis jury found Hernandez Govan not guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in August 2025. The verdict meant the prosecution had not proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. While allegations made during the investigation remain part of the public record, the acquittal is the final outcome of that criminal case unless new legal proceedings arise. The Young Dolph investigation remains one of the most significant criminal cases in recent Memphis history, but it also illustrates the difference between allegations made in court and findings reached by a jury. For documentary viewers, understanding that distinction is essential to accurately following the case and the justice system. Why did the Young Dolph case seem so suspicious? When news broke that Memphis rapper Young Dolph had been killed outside Makita's homemade butter cookies on November 17, 2021, the tragedy quickly became one of the most closely followed criminal cases in hip-hop. Beyond the loss of a respected independent artist, the investigation sparked years of public debate, online theories, and intense scrutiny. For many observers, the case felt unusual, not necessarily because of any single piece of evidence, but because of the combination of its high-profile victim, the public setting, the long-running rivalries surrounding Memphis rap, and the complex legal proceedings that followed. One reason the case generated so much suspicion among the public was the location of the shooting. Young Dolph was killed in broad daylight at a business he had visited many times before. Many people wondered whether the attackers knew his routine or whether they happened upon him by chance. Investigators focused on gathering surveillance footage, witness statements, forensic evidence, and digital records to answer those questions. The public, however, often filled gaps in the available information with speculation. Another factor was Dolph's prominence. He was more than a successful rapper. He was known for building an independent career, owning his masters, and mentoring younger artists. His decision to remain independent became a defining part of his image and inspired many fans. Because of his visibility, nearly every development in the investigation received widespread attention. The case also unfolded against the backdrop of a well-known rivalry within the Memphis rap scene. Fans had long debated lyrics, interviews, and social media posts involving different artists and labels. After Dolph's death, many people immediately tried to connect those rivalries to the homicide. Some of those theories reflected publicly documented history, while many others went far beyond the evidence that investigators disclosed. As the investigation progressed, law enforcement announced arrests and described the alleged roles of multiple defendants. Prosecutors argued that the killing was planned and involved more than just the two men accused of carrying out the shooting. Those allegations became central to the trials, but the justice system required prosecutors to prove each defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The courtroom proceedings added another layer of public interest. Jurors heard testimony, reviewed surveillance footage, examined phone records, and considered forensic evidence. The defense teams challenged the reliability of witnesses and argued that portions of the prosecution's case were not sufficiently supported. Watching those competing narratives unfold led many members of the public to form different opinions about the strength of the evidence. One of the most discussed moments came during interviews given by people connected to the case. Some interviewees appeared frustrated, emotional, or unwilling to discuss certain topics in detail. Viewers sometimes interpreted body language or tone as evidence of hidden information. However, a person's demeanor in an interview does not by itself establish guilt, innocence, or knowledge of a crime. Stress, grief, legal advice, or media pressure can all affect how someone responds on camera. The role of social media cannot be overlooked. Platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and X were flooded with videos claiming to solve the case or identify additional participants. Some creators carefully distinguished verified facts from speculation. Others presented rumors as if they were established truths. As a result, millions of viewers encountered conflicting versions of events. Another reason some people described the investigation as suspicious was the amount of information that remained confidential while the case was pending. Law enforcement often withholds details to protect witnesses, preserve evidence, and avoid compromising future prosecutions. Those necessary investigative decisions sometimes created information gaps that fueled public speculation. The trial outcomes also contributed to the perception that the case was complicated. Different defendants faced different charges, and juries reached different conclusions based on the evidence presented against each individual. That reflects how the legal system evaluates each defendant separately rather than treating everyone the same. The case demonstrates an important principle. Allegations are not the same as proof. Prosecutors may believe a theory is supported by evidence, while defense attorneys challenge that theory, and juries ultimately decide whether the evidence meets the legal standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Years after Young Dolph's death, public interest remains strong. His music, influence, and commitment to independence continue to resonate with fans. At the same time, the investigation has become a reminder of how quickly online speculation can outpace verified information. Ultimately, many people viewed the case as suspicious because of its extraordinary circumstances. A beloved artist killed in public, a lengthy investigation, multiple defendants, extensive media coverage, and years of online theories. But the most reliable understanding of the case comes from the evidence presented in court, official investigative findings, and credible reporting, not from rumors or assumptions. Young Dolph's legacy extends far beyond the circumstances of his death. For many fans, he represents entrepreneurship, independence, and perseverance. While debates about the case are likely to continue, separating verified facts from speculation is essential to understanding what happened and honoring both the legal process and the truth.
It's crazy this had to happen to Key Glock, but we all know for a fact that they used to hang out. Like, they used to hang together, like, regardless of the relationship Key Glock had with Young Dolph, he used to run with CMG before all that. Even Straight Drop said that Key Glock, he used to be with them at first. We know what happened, man. All this happened all because of what happened to Big Jook. They should have never did what they did. They said that Key Glock, he had something to do with that. They said Key Glock did that for Dolph. So by them saying that, man, it all goes to show why they even getting into it. But we know that this the reason why Black Youngster ain't coming around. Black Youngster's the key element to this whole thing. We know this. Hit the like button. Let me know if you're a fan of Young Dolph. Let me know if you're a fan of Big Jook.